do anything.
In the city's vibrant, pulsating night, neon lights on loud, masks conceal the truth, and whispers reveal secrets. Crystal balls spin mysteries, fortune tellers weave cosmic tales, and truth is tangled in electric threads. The masquerade unfolds, colors clash and neon hearts guide us through the crowded glow. Fireworks explode in our minds, hidden codes wait to be found, and every flash reveals what's underneath. Memories haunt us, light bulbs flicker, and shadows linger. The curtain rises, lights ignite the scene, and the stage burns under fiery skies. The show must go on, we'll take the chaos and find our way through every stumble. No mask can hide the fire in our eyes. We're spinning stories under open skies, and when the music fades, we'll still be standing. Curtains draw open, lights ablaze, magic whispers through the night, as masks and dreams converge in spectacular display. Shadows dance, voices enthrall, crystal balls reveal secret signs, threads of fate entwined in tangled lines. The reactor twist unknown, on a stage of stars where dreams unfold. The show must shine bright through chaos and strife, every spark a tale to tell, a symphony of rebellion. Drums beat like hearts of fire, scripts burn with raw desire. Books of untold stories, pages turning brave and bold. Spotlight calls never fading through leaps of faith and masquerades. We've seen a gamble, each step a leap, dreams awaken where we sleep. Lights dim but hearts ignite, curtains rise to greet the night. Stumble, trip but never fall, the show goes on, we give it all. Raise the roof, shout aloud, through darkness we face the crowd. Dreams collide, we paint the stage with every scar. Each misstep makes us who we are. Script is torn, lines blurred, but every voice will still be heard. No rewind, no second take, we build the magic we won't break. Applause fades, but hearts soar, we'll leave them begging for more. Through every storm, every dawn, the show must go on and on.
Hi, everybody. That's a pretty pink case there, Dan.
Huh?
No, that's a pretty pink case.
It's not pink, it's red.
Ah, sure. It's pink, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Zob. Hey, Esmeralda. Hey, Mile High. What's up? Hi, Nightmare. Hi, Esmeralda. Hi, Tim. And there's this geek guy in there. Hi to him. Anyways, hi, everybody on panel, too. Hi.
Hey, cool intro. I like your intro there.
I love that intro. It's one of my favorites.
It was very cool.
Thank you, guys. It was
Duplex. It's
times.
Very bad, not good. Very bad from Wizards.
Ah, there you go.
20th Century Fox Wizards.
1977,
76.
76. I knew it was around when Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, before my time.
That was
I
like
want to say special thanks to Chance and Tug for coming over today to talk to us.
Oh,
yes.
Anytime. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh yeah. Well,
You know, you guys can be on our show anytime you want to. There's an open door policy. When you two guys show up, you make any show better, right?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, no, I agree.
Matter of fact, 5 people just texted me and said that right now.
Of course they did.
How's everybody's weekend going?
Very good.
I have no migraine. I'm doing great.
Yay! That's
Yay! Yeah, last Sunday I was like, I can't do anything. I missed everything. And I was like, not happy.
Well, my weekend's going okay. I had a falling out with a prostitute. My credit card was declined.
You gotta use Venmo, man.
Never use
That's okay, buddy. I have literally had like 3 or 4 big falling outs with people this weekend too.
Right.
I haven't fallen out with anybody.
I'm sure Thrash has got this covered. We lost Hot Lips. Sad.
There's that.
Yeah,
that was very
depressing.
I was in a bad mood about that, and it just made me pee in everybody's cornflakes all weekend.
Well, I'm honored that you haven't lashed out at me, Dan. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
how could anyone lash out at you, Tug? Seriously, you're the most least confrontational person I know. I don't know.
I strive for it. Yeah.
Loretta Swit has been rebranded in the wake of her passing. She's now known as Cold Lips. Okay, you still want me? When we're in pain, we gotta have laughter.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Well done.
Anyways, look, it wasn't me that said it. Yay!
That's
obvious
awesome.
one-liner.
They were bound to start sooner or later. They were really
How long had Chance been holding on to that?
I think Friday night when I went live right out of the gate, I think I
Of course.
I love her. I love her.
The show's been on. The show has already been on less than 10 minutes, so you've already turned me into Sam Kinison.
I've been working
Zuper,
on something with Race with the Devil, but I haven't quite. The pieces are all there. I just can't seem to quite get it to gel.
Great minds. I showed that trailer on my show, Thrash.
I love that movie.
Entire trailer.
It's an amazing movie.
But I like that movie, darn it.
Me too.
It's a great movie. It really
Hey man,
is.
all I know
20th Century
is
Fox. They rated it on Fall Guy. There was a season 2 episode. They stole all the chase footage. Cleavon Little, mind you, Cleavon Little guest starred in this Fall Guy episode, end of season 2, called The Chase. And they used all that stock footage. Like Lee Majors is wearing that white shirt that Peter Fonda's character's wearing. That 70s looking white. Anyway, whatever. They found this wardrobe shirt to match back then in 1982 when that episode was filmed. The movie was filmed in 73, but I digress.
And back then, Peter Fonda was still a big thing, kind of.
Yeah.
This movie wasn't it was a pretty big movie at the time. People knew about it.
Tracy, is that Pat McCormick interviewed him? Is that who you're talking about, Pat McCormick?
No,
Pat McCormick. That was one of his first guests was Loretta Swit.
Loretta, not. I thought you were talking about Fonda. Yeah, he did a couple times. Loretta Swit. He's all broken up about her dying.
I'm sure
he's devastated.
Everybody's broken up, really, except maybe you, Chance.
I am broken. Race with the Devil actually was released June 27th, 75, so it was filmed in 74 to set the record straight.
Anyway. Thank you.
He uses humor to mask his bleeding heart.
Exactly. That's it.
I'm just the monster. Sorry.
And we lost Valerie Mahaffrey. We also lost her as well. Yep. For the Noise and Exposure fans out there.
Emily.
Yeah.
Hello, Emily.
You know that's funny. That's funny.
There's a lot of up-and-coming streamers out there.
When I was young, I used to think it was so gross that her character was married to some creepy old man. And now that I'm a creepy old man, I kind of admire the dude.
You're not creepy. Look at James Bond, right? And he turned down BB in For Your Eyes Only. He did the right thing. BB was just a little too young.
That's where it gets uncomfortable for me. Like James Bond, I can accept the age difference usually, but it gets creepy.
Oh, really?
Towards the end of the Roger Moore.
was talking about a
rerun.
Remember? So,
Yeah.
Watching a rerun of Richard Dawson's Family Feud.
Ooh, yeah.
He kissed everything.
No.
He did not discriminate age, race, nothing. He kissed everybody.
And he
Gross.
married one of his former contestants.
Yes, he did. Gretchen Johnson. And they had a child together. Nicole.
Gross.
Yep.
The stories I came across when I was
When you said that, I had a Howie
Man.
Mandel moment.
God.
Well, he's European.
Oh,
Richard Dawson
gross.
is European. He's dead too, by the way. He died.
On that note, have you
Different
guys
culture.
seen that movie, What's Up, Tiger Lily? That's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, Roman Polanski.
Oh, no.
I'll go.
Anyways,
no,
this is not
You
the show I had in mind.
Did you hear the story about the Manson murders that Steve McQueen was supposed to be there, and he was convinced that he could have prevented the massacre had he been there. He felt
Damn right he would, because he was Steve McQueen, boy. He went all hunter on the mothers.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd have had him hog-tied in the yard when the police got there.
And what about the Folgers heiress, man? She got stabbed like 75 times. It's terrible. I can't look at those photos. Just knife.
Yeah, hey guys, did you guys know that happened? Terrible. Moving on. Okay.
The best part-
Oh my God.
I want to get some free. Sorry, I keep talking. Free advice to up and coming streamers, people want to start a podcast. Make sure before you go live that you take a dump. Okay. Free advice. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
We're off the rails today. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, anyway, the best part of soldiers in your cup, especially in California.
I'm gonna have to disagree. This show is taking a drastic left turn somewhere here.
You heard the Sam Kinison joke, right? Hey, you only stabbed me 125 times. My head's still on my torso. You know.
Oh.
Nice to know you can handle your high.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
Well, anyways.
Wow.
Chances come out with all guns blazing, man.
Sorry.
Right?
And just to point out, amazing.
I got these at the Cracker Barrel, and it's
Talk
not
about
crack.
me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're a little too sugared up. I can see that.
I'll say something people will talk about more.
So have we started yet?
We're live. Yeah.
Yeah, we're live. The whole world knows.
I know we're
about
live,
us
but
now.
have we started yet? You
Yeah,
know,
Well,
look,
we
I don't
started quite a
know.
while ago there. If you didn't catch it, it's been wide open for about 8
12 and a
minutes.
half minutes of preamble. Yeah.
Hey, Kim,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Right
Good to
on.
see
Moving forward. Hey, Pons, why don't you say hi to everybody now?
I will say hi to everybody. Emily Miller's here. Hello, Emily. Superplex is here. The job hunting is going quite well, actually. Thank you. I got something lined up for this week. Tracy's here. Hello, Tracy. A UFO man. Hello, welcome to the party. Esmeralda, great to see you as always. Greg Corbin, good to see you, Greg. Welcome to the party. I'm just scrolling down really quick. If I miss anybody, please forgive me. Susanna, Susanna, welcome to the show. Did I miss anyone? I think that's everyone, but apart from us.
Yeah, okay.
Nightmare is here, and Mile High Community Channel.
Susanna
Hello.
in the chat. Which Susanna
Hey,
was?
Chance.
And, hello, Chance. Skeleton. Good to see you, Skeleton.
Hello.
Where you from, Skeleton? And that was terrible. Thank you for laughing, Sarah. That was
you're
even
welcome.
for me.
I'm a laugh track, as you know.
You're a
the
train
giggle
track.
What?
You're a half track.
I'm a half track.
I'm swinging wild. There's got to be something funny in there with the word track in it, but I can't. I can't quite nail it. I can't track it down.
Okay.
Oh no, it's too early for that.
Or too late.
Yes, Tim, that would be Tugboat Willie. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's Steamboat Willie. Whatever. What am I
Yeah. Well, anyways.
It was Tugboat Annie, is what you were thinking of the other
Yes.
boat related.
Anyways, that's. I'm
What's
gonna
it?
clap
That's like that old joke. Who invented the steam engine? What? Yes, Watt invented the steam engine. Yes.
Classic.
Awesome.
So, did anyone else try to get through Hundreds of Beavers?
Oh yeah, I watched it all.
You watch it all? Oh my
Yeah.
god, my ADHD was kicking in. I
couldn't watch it all in one sitting. I had to watch like 15 to 20 minutes at a time.
I just watched a YouTube
The
break.
way I do most movies on
Barbarella.
YouTube, I'll watch 20 minutes, I'll watch a video or two, then come back to it and watch a few more minutes. I can't take big doses of crap at one time.
For those of you out there who haven't seen it, it's this Canadian experimental film. It's done in black and white, and the whole thing, it's trying to be like an old silent era cartoon. So all the live action, it's all done live action, but they try to make it look as much like a cartoon as possible. And this guy basically loses his brewery in a freak accident and reinvents himself as a trapper and falls in love with the trapper station's daughter, and hilarity ensues. And I tried so hard to love this movie because Dark Corners highly recommended it. And it just, the problem, that's the problem with the gimmicky movie, is it's like focusing so much on the gimmick that it's taking forever to advance the story. There's one scene where he's following this rabbit and the tracks keep changing. And the joke is you're following the evolution of this rabbit's whole life. But it goes on for about 15 minutes. And by the time the gag pays off, I don't care anymore. I think it would have worked great if it was like a 40-minute short, but the thing's an hour and 50 minutes. And I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. I want to go home.
I told you, you gotta watch it in little 20-minute episodes or you just can't take it. But I will say this, it was funny. It was so funny. I saw the little thing on Dark Corners. I looked it up and started watching it, and I was laughing really hard, and it was hurting. And I clicked it over and I said, I got to send this to Pons. And I sent it to Pons and he immediately texted me back, I'm watching it now.
Dark Corners is great. I love Dark Corners.
Mm-hmm.
You
Most
know?
of the time when it comes out with something I hadn't seen, I'm instantly checking that out.
Thrash, you have me with hundreds of beavers. I don't know what that means.
He reinvented himself as a trapper.
If you had 100 beavers, you'd be a happy man too.
No,
like again, I wrote a song about beaver fever, so check that out.
Yeah, we're talking about Justin Bieber, kids.
Justin Bieber, yeah.
Not that. No,
who is Canadian actually?
Yeah,
that's too
They
bad.
can have him.
He's a
Unfortunate.
real Canadian hero like William Shatner. Yep.
John Colicos.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds.
Baltar, the original Baltar.
Yes, he was the original Baltar. He also
And,
did a bunch of
he
World
was
War
the
movies.
first Klingon in original Star Trek, Core.
Actually, if you watch Tug's channel, the first Klingon is actually the man Friday from Robinson Crusoe on Mars.
Did you notice
His name eludes me,
y'all were
but-
naming Canadian heroes?
You mean in the
Victor
Mercy?
London, I think? Yeah, London.
Oh yeah, it showed a secondary Klingon and Aaron to Mercy, correct? Is that what you're telling
Correct. He was the lieutenant guy.
me?
Yeah.
Right.
You see him first.
He's the first main guy, but yeah.
Emily.
What'd she do?
She's had beaver fever. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm biting through her lips. Yeah.
I learned Justin Bieber.
Look, I had a temperature of 103. I was very delirious, and Snarky and I were talking some weird
So you're hot-blooded
things.
then.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Right.
same thing.
Anyways, yeah, and so we were talking about beavers, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go right. I was talking about beaver fever, and then I did. Okay, so everybody check it out. It's awesome. Yes, I said that. Okay, good. All right, moving on.
Beaver fever? What?
It's a
Tim's out
song.
here mentioning space truckers.
Joe. Kevin as well, by the way.
Quality of the stream down to the gutter. It's my fault. I started it. My little jokes. Sorry.
We started in the gutter and still managed to go deeper.
I know.
We can always go deeper.
And speaking of deeper, since you brought up the first movie, let me bring up the second one.
Alligator.
That's a little movie called Chatterbox.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you want to go lower? Let's go lower. Yeah.
That's all you did.
Lower, so I'm going lower. It's about a lady with a talking body part downstairs. You can't get a better movie than a woman who rejects you verbally from two different places at the same time.
Damn.
You never want to touch that. Pun intended. It got strangely quiet there, Dan. I don't know what happened.
I can't breathe. My head's
I'm
kinda
just thinking,
pounding.
why am I simulcasting this on my channel?
Because
Well,
you
we'll
jumped the gun.
digress there and move down to YouTube. What you got is more acceptable.
Well, my weird pick is actually something called Meet the Hollowheads. It's like late 80s rental movie. It's like this it's set in this weird dystopian future where aliens have taken over the world and they're weird like Lovecraftian tentacle monsters, and they're forcing humans to live in this hyper saturated 1950s sitcom kind of reality. And a really young Juliette Lewis is in it. It is a bizarre freaking movie, and I remember being obsessed with it when I first saw it. I was like 12.
How do I not know this movie?
Look it up. Meet the Hollowheads. It's got
I've never heard of this.
What is the name of the guy? He was in Gremlins 2 and a bunch of other movies. What is his name? John Glover. John Glover.
Oh, I like John Glover.
You got me good on what I hadn't heard of, dude.
I win.
I've never heard of it either.
Meet the Hollowhead. Too bad Indy's not here. I'm sure he's seen it.
He probably started it. We just don't know.
Probably. He owns the movie.
Yeah.
I own Bala.
Yes, look it up. Meet the Hollowheads.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up. So since Chance isn't here, how about Sarah? How about you throw us one?
All right. Well, like I was saying earlier, one of my favorite hi Craig, how you doing? One of my favorite, silly movies that nobody ever really sees, and I only saw it once, and I just want to watch it again. It's very hard to get. Is What's Up, Tiger Lily? It's so freaking funny. I really do like that movie. It's hilarious.
That's why you mentioned that earlier. I was wondering.
Yes. That is super funny. Nobody ever knows what I'm talking about. So many people are like, and it's this dub movie and blah 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 blah. They're like, and I'm like, but it's so funny. Well, I went down a rabbit hole one time trying to figure it out.
Woody Allen took the Firesign Theater shtick and tried to do it for an entire feature film. And it's very, very wacky.
Right, yeah. See, I like that. I also like things like, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Yeah, and another one too would be like the one where he fights the cow. Oh my gosh,
Kung Pao.
Yes, Kung Pao, thank you. Yeah. Good stuff, right? Nothing beats stomach plugs, man. I just punched out your stomach plug. Wow. Anyways, and that's my kung fu tip of the day. Get the stomach plug.
Well, the funny thing about Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid is it bombed in the box office, and I never figured out why. I don't know if it was bad marketing. I don't know if just the concept was before its time, but I thought it was genius, and they could have made many more movies in the spirit of that sort of like cobbled footage together type filmmaking. But but for some reason it bombed. It actually, I believe it actually kind of threw a wrench in Steve Martin's career for a while.
I actually saw that and kind of liked it when it came out. I thought it was different.
It's great. I think it's great.
It's super fun.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, you had the hot Rachel Ward, fresh off of Sharky's Machine. She was smoking.
Right. Oh my God, I forgot that. Yes, it does have Rachel Ward.
And she was in the Thornbirds around that time with the late great what's his face? Dr. Kildare.
Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain.
Yes. And a famous Australian actor was in Cocktail. Brian
Brown. No, yeah, Brian Brown.
Brian Brown?
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah,
Brian Brown.
Yes.
Same guy who was in FX, which is a great movie.
And Breaker Morant.
Maybe the movie in black and white hurt it. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. People are pretty shallow when it comes to black and white.
Yeah, that's right. Very true.
That's true too.
Yeah, but look at movies like Young Frankenstein, which are really
Elephant Man.
They wouldn't work in color,
Elephant Man.
I was a kid. I didn't like Young Frankenstein. But then when I got older, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually good stuff. See, sometimes that you just have to be older to appreciate things.
That's true.
They wanted to make Johnny Mnemonic in black and white. You should go to my channel and check out my review. I talk about it.
I watched that today.
Shameless plug.
Help me out here. Isn't there a version of Taxi Driver? Didn't Scorsese make a black and white version?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Tim Burton is better than movie in terms of.
I think that makes a lot more sense than turning the 90s Johnny Mnemonic black and white. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Has anyone played the pinball game Johnny Mnemonic?
For some reason,
I don't think so.
For an hour.
Great.
That's
pinball
just
game.
not right. That's YouTube, man. YouTube screwing me over.
Wow.
Oh no.
Same page club. Hey, Tony, what's going on, bro?
Whenever I cover 80s or 90s movies, they never do that well. But I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care.
Well, there you go. Screw you, algorithm. I want to do it anyway. And that's how come I don't have a successful channel either. Yeah.
Hey, Chance, how about you? What underappreciated, wacky, weird cult comedy film do you like?
I have some I can show you. No, don't make me big or anything. I like Grizzly. I don't know if we're talking horror or comedy. It sounds like we're talking anything.
That's a comedy right there. It sure is funny when that guy gets fired.
This was shot in Georgia, in Clayton, Georgia, North Georgia, and Christopher George is in it. It was like a cheesy Jaws wannabe movie, but I really liked it. Any movie where a kid gets killed, I'm all in.
And they throw the pieces across the screen. Yeah. Literally, you see little kid parts going flying across the screen. Crazy.
Another good one. I like Mark Wahlberg in Fear.
I remember that movie. Yeah.
You like Mark Wahlberg? That's funny.
Yeah, man, Marky Mark.
Alligator, 1980. The alligator is in the sewer coming up.
John Sayles film.
Yes.
The alligator thing, that was like very real. Like people were so terrified of alligators in the sewer. And I'm pretty sure that's never happened anywhere.
Even in Florida?
Even in Florida.
You're from Orlando.
We don't have sewers really in Florida. You can't dig very deep.
This ain't showing.
Really an alligator caught in a sewer somewhere in New York or something.
Maybe, but I'm sure it didn't like.
No, that was a giant rat.
I know about that. Oh, come on, really?
This is a Nightmare in Badham County. I'm a sucker for a good lady. I'm a sucker for a good lady prison movie. And look on YouTube. Someone put the hard R-rated version. This is the Blu-ray release from 2018. Really good. Connors is in it. Look at the cast. The rifleman. He plays a crooked, dirty, really dirty cop in this movie.
Wow.
Rob Bellamy is in it. Mr. Brady himself. He plays the warden of the women's prison. He's a total creep. Robert Reed.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a
I can point this out real quick. In 1935, there was a big alligator pulled out of a sewer in New York. Even though it's like a common myth, it did happen once. It can happen. And by the way, there's been several documented alligators in the sewer in Florida.
I sit corrected.
What is that?
Yeah, you do.
What's this for?
QAnon? What?
I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. Otherwise, I'd never have Indy on my channel.
Elizabeth Shue, Piranha 3D. I talk about this movie all the time. Yes. I think it's a really funny throwback to the 80s slasher films.
Thank you.
And then the last one, Psycho 4, because it has the origin of Norman Bates.
I love Psycho 4. It's actually really good. Yeah.
With Olivia Hussey playing the mom. And she's the reason he's so screwed up.
Is it really pronounced Hussey?
Piranha is actually really
insulting her.
A lot of kids get ate by piranha instead of just one.
Yeah. So those are my picks this round.
I'm glad you mentioned Psycho 4. Nobody ever brings that up. And it is so much better than 2 and 3.
Oh, God, yeah. It's a great origin story. Right there. I think it's from 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right.
Good one.
All right.
I haven't seen it.
I think it was like an HBO movie. I don't even think it was released.
It was made for cable, just like Psycho 2. I think it was made for Showtime with Meg Tilly. Yeah.
Really?
Meg Tilly.
Made for Showtime. Just like the Amityville horror sequels back then. It's around the same time.
And
I remember around that time, Anthony Perkins, I believe he had a summer home on the Cape, or at least he came to Cape Cod for the summers. And a buddy of mine was like working in like a 7-Eleven or something. And Anthony Perkins came in to get a few things. They just pulled into town and then he did like stuff. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're Norman Bates." And he goes, "No, I'm Anthony Perkins." Yeah, that's what I meant. But after you ring him up, he goes, This is right after 2 had come out, and he goes, "Are you working any more Psychos?" And he goes, "Maybe."
No.
Should ask him how his stomach was feeling.
Hey, Thrash.
Ooh, nice.
Around that time, this is nowhere near that Brush with Greatness. I saw John Biner. I rung him up. I was working as a stock boy at a drugstore from Bazaar with Super Dave Osborne, the redhead comedian. And I love that bit on Showtime where he played like this racist Irish guy that made fun of everyone. And then as soon as someone made fun of him, he's like, oh, wait, can't we just get along, people? You know, like, that, like a big punchline after he hurled all these vicious, terrible comments. It's like he has the thinnest skin of all, right? He can dish it out, but can't take it. John Biner, he was there. He was performing at the Punchline. He was buying like toothpaste and stuff. And I'm like, John Biner goes, I can't believe I got recognized. I said, yeah, man, I watch Young Bazaar, Showtime. You're a funny man. He was great. He really was. Yeah. Is he dead? I hope not. I believe he passed on a couple years ago. I believe. Damn. I'm afraid. It was 1991. He was a really nice person. Anyway.
Right on.
So am I up again? I think I'm up again. Am I up again?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay.
I'm not paying attention.
I'm gonna since we one of us already managed to find a post-apocalyptic comedy. I too am going to go post-apocalyptic comedy myself, and I'm going to use the very less well that it should be known French film Delicatessen.
Ah, yes. Yes, nice.
This is a weird movie. It's set in a post-apocalyptic setting, and this guy runs a bed and breakfast. And the problem is there's no food. So he cuts up the guests and serves them for breakfast. It's about cannibalism in but it's a comedy. And the twist is his daughter's a vegetarian.
Brought you by Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
Miracle Whip?
They sponsored it.
So yeah, I saw this film almost by accident once, and I fell in love with it. And I have a copy buried in my physical media. But if you haven't seen Delicatessen, give it a shot. Tug, you've seen it?
I remember when I saw it because right before the 4th Alien movie came out, and it was announced that it was being directed by some French guy named Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I looked him up and I wanted to see his movies. So I watched Delicatessen and then I watched City of Lost Children. And I thought these movies were amazing. And I was so excited for Alien 4. And then I saw Alien 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Do I detect some disappointment?
Yeah, I can see that. Only more of a comedy. It's
Wait, if you like Delicatessen, have you seen City of Lost Children? That actually has Ron Perlman in it. It's really good.
I actually thought that English wasn't his first language because he seemed to speak it's French, right? So
yeah, it's French. Yeah. So he's so good.
He doesn't he speak Spanish too? Isn't there a movie he does where he speaks
Spanish? Yeah, he in
Kronos or something.
In Kronos, yeah, he speaks Spanish in Kronos.
The Guillermo del Toro movie, yes.
The Guillermo del Toro vampire beetle thing. Yeah, love that movie.
Yeah, okay.
We could do a whole show on Guillermo del Toro, actually.
Absolutely. And all the failed projects he hasn't done.
I know. In fact, I'm surprised we haven't done that, to be honest with you. I'm surprised it's taken this long to even think of it. Yes. But yeah, I don't know how many languages Ron Perlman speaks, but it's funny.
Maybe he's what's it called, a polyglot? Somebody who speaks like
I know one language he speaks is called douche, but I won't go there.
Yes, we're not talking about the actor as a human being.
Yes, tell me how you really feel. Don't hold back now.
Stand him. Oh man!
If you're a celebrity, just get off Twitter. And I mean that, Ron.
Mark Ruffalo too. It's like, how many times can you put your foot in your mouth and offend? Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I love him as an actor. I love his movies. He's great.
He's got that hair lip.
Yeah.
That's why he works so well in Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
how about Quest for Fire? He didn't need makeup.
Ooh. You're not wrong.
Well, there you go.
He was Hellboy.
Yes, he was Hellboy too. Yeah,
he did a couple.
That was Del Toro too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Hellboy. Yeah, he did the first two Hellboys. Yeah,
he did a couple Fall Guys too, I think. Anyway,
he also did Blade too. Which also had Ron Perlman in it.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
I love Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
That's
some
funny.
mother is always trying to.
57, always bet on black. I love that line.
So you're a big fan of Tu Wong Fu?
Yeah. And Cliffhanger. Hey, that's another one, good one. Cliffhanger, Sylvester Stallone.
Cliffhanger.
I love that movie. 3 times. I love that.
Yeah. John Lithgow is such a great bad guy.
But shooting the gun underwater. Come on, guys.
Well, there's that, yeah. But
Did you ever see Blowout with John Lithgow? He's carving Liberty-built hearts in women's hearts with John Travolta.
No, but now I want to see it.
Brian De Palma directed it. Really good movie.
Why haven't I seen this? I love Brian De Palma. I love John Lithgow.
And you've seen World According to Garp, I'm sure.
Blowout's
Blowout.
got John Travolta on it.
Yeah.
John Travolta's in Blowout. He plays a sound engineer.
Yeah.
Raising
He
Cain
records a
is
murder.
also a good John Lithgow where he plays like a serial killer with multiple personalities. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really cheesy and stupid, but I love it because it's John Lithgow.
I thought Blowout was a great movie, man.
It was.
Yeah.
I watched that on HBO all the time when I was.
You keep bringing up movies I ain't seen in 30 years. And I'm like,
That's why
How
we're here,
about
isn't it?
The Hand with Michael Caine, where his hand gets chopped off and the hand terrorizes him?
I thought that was terrifying as a kid.
It's whacked out. It's Oliver Stone. He was
I'll tell
whacked
you,
out on drugs. I guess.
Michael
when he made
Caine
it.
made this movie. Michael Caine made this movie called The Island, man. And I don't know if you ever saw a movie called The Island. That movie will make your mind up. There's so much bad stuff.
Peter Benchley wrote that.
Yeah.
Jaws.
In The Island, it's
Thank
like
you,
a
Esmeralda.
group of pirates have lived on this island since the 1700s. And they're still pirates, and they still do pirate stuff. And it's deep and it's dark. I mean, it's real dark.
Speaking of Michael Caine, I was traumatized when he kissed Christopher Reeve on the lips in Death Trap. I was like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Everyone
It
was.
was like they were French kissing. Anyway,
I liked
Okay,
him
wow.
in Sleuth with Laurence Olivier, who we talked about earlier today. Great movie.
I was just talking about The Last Valley too. I don't know if any of you were fans of the 30 Years War, but it's a movie set during. It's basically Seven Samurai, but it's set during the 30 Years War, and he's amazing in it. And he plays opposite Omar Sharif, and the two of them have outstanding chemistry together. It's a phenomenal film.
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
James Clavell wrote it and directed it.
Okay. Cool.
Right on.
But yeah, we could do a whole show on Michael Caine too. You know,
Oh no.
This
Yeah, I
is
know.
Michael
Okay.
Caine.
yeah,
As long as we don't bring up the World War II.
he's my favorite Alfred. He's my favorite Alfred from Batman.
He is the best Alfred. Agreed. I mean, I really like the original one from the 1989 movie, but like, and I like the one from the old Adam West TV show, but I mean,
But
how
has
can you
Michael-
beat Michael Caine?
But has Michael Caine been knighted? If not, that's a crime. He needs to be knighted by the
I
King of
believe
England.
he is. And
I don't think
he
he
hasn't
has
even
been.
married for like 60 years.
Good for him.
Something like that, yeah.
Blame It on Rio. You ever see that? That's a sexy movie.
It is.
About his midlife crisis.
He married the girl in The Man Who Would Be King.
Sorry.
The one who was betrothed to Sean Connery. He actually married her in real life. I can't remember the actress's name.
He was
Demi
knighted.
Moore was
He
in it.
is Sir Michael Caine.
Demi Moore
Peggy
was in
Hilton,
Blame It on Rio
whatever.
before her boob job. And so if you look at it, she's like flat as a board. She is. She is. I'm not cussing. I'm telling you the truth.
No, I mean that's useful information.
Yeah.
If you ever, what was the movie she did in '96? Striptease. I didn't care for that.
No one did.
Oh yeah, that was garbage. That's a garbage movie.
Yeah, it's like the one where the indecent proposal. I thought that was terrible.
It's good points. Yeah.
But she can act. Demi Moore can act. She is one of the best actors, underrated. I think. I don't think she's ever won an Oscar.
She was really good in that Ridley Scott movie where she played like a soldier, like a modern day female.
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane. Terrible name. Good
Yeah.
movie.
Good movie. I agree. She shaved her head.
Yeah.
Got in character.
I hear that Chris Rock was a big fan of that movie.
What if I finish it in the face? Oh.
I love Chris Rock.
Jada.
He
Your
has some
head
heart
is made of clay.
about Chris Reeve. He goes, Superman can't walk. What's next? Aquaman gonna drown in the tub?
Well, anyways.
He said it. I thought it was funny. He didn't mean it in a mean-spirited way. You know, he was like, this is effed up. You know, Chris Reeve can't walk. What the heck? Anyway.
Well, it's
yeah.
that whole Superman curse, you know. People who play Superman usually have very tragic things happen to them.
George Reeves. And how about Reeves? It irritates me as a Chris Reeve fan when people call him Christopher Reeves, but it's an easy
Yeah, you
mistake
can
to make.
understand how people make that mistake.
You can. The layman, absolutely. I mean, it's understandable.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's funny. I like that. That's
Whose turn
funny.
is it?
I don't know.
Danny's, I believe.
Yeah, let's go with him.
Dan,
So
you're
want
on.
you want a wacky comedy that's a weird movie, right?
Yeah.
So I think of two of them right offhand that really comes to mind. One of them is a wacky comedy about vampires, Dracula, called Love at First Bite, that come out back
Yes,
in the
classic.
70s with George
Yeah.
Hamilton. And for being a horror movie fan and doing the horror movie stuff like me, I like this one particularly a lot because it's wacky, off the chain crazy. George Hamilton plays in it, and he's a great actor. I
Yes.
like most of his stuff, even though some of it's not horror.
Zorro the Gay Blade.
Yeah, but that's so funny though, even though it's not a good movie, no, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought the portrayal of Renfield was outstanding in that movie.
Yeah.
That they really made him creepy and funny at the same time. I thought that was slick.
I was trying
And-
to remember the girl who played opposite him in it, but maybe Judy Haggerty. Maybe.
Sound right.
I don't know.
Julie Haggerty, Airplane 2.
Yeah, that's Airplane. It's the only thing I can think of when I think of Julie Haggerty.
You
That long hair.
I love Airplane. Airplane 2 is, well, it's got
I
the
like
Shatter in
Airplane
it.
2 as well, but you
Well,
know.
look, it's got
It-
Shatter in
Susan
it.
St. James.
He's doing the
Oh.
door. I mean, that's funny.
Susan
you
St.
know.
James did a remarkable job in that movie. I couldn't remember her name to save my life.
And Richard Benjamin
Yeah.
is
Saturday the
What
14th.
else? Yeah.
Saturday the 14th. That's a movie we should be talking about.
Yeah. Carrie Michelson, I had the biggest crush on her. The daughter in the
And-
tub.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and that's the wacky horror movie parody thing that I really liked. And I love World War II horror movies. And the other wacky comedy from back in the day, I got to bring up Top Secret. It also goes in with that soundtrack thing we were talking about earlier with really great music, all by the same creepy guy you never heard of, but really great nevertheless.
Yes. Yes.
And Val Kilmer, who we talked about the week before.
Yep.
So yeah.
One of his first
But it was
movies.
the wackiness of the surrounding plots that where everything was just a little off and a little crazy. My favorite part was the professor guy was Christopher. Was it Christopher? Not Christopher Lee, the other one.
no, it was Michael Goth.
Yeah.
Who did
Michael
the
Goth.
thing with the eye. He was the
Oh,
professor.
with the at the bookstore. That's
Yeah.
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing. That's who
That's
I'm
Peter
thinking.
Cushing.
That's so funny. He pulls it away and his eyes all swelled up like that guy in Tarantula.
Well,
Mm.
I do that on one of my thumbnails. I took a magnifying glass and I taped a big like circle eye in the back of it. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know why I bothered to mention that.
That was, I was
So that's
expecting
my
that.
two. That's my two wacky craziness from the day.
The funny thing about Top Secret, though, is to really appreciate it, you have to be a fan of those old World War II movies because so much of the tropes they use are taken right out of specific movies. Like, oh yeah, they got that from there, and they got this from that, and
Exactly.
it's really cool. And some of the actors were actually in those old war movies, like the German general dude. Yeah.
And sadly, I've probably seen every one of them old war movies at one time or another.
Yeah.
So I believe it's at Tug. I believe you're up now.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about a movie that you all probably hate.
Oh.
This is a movie that, like, I've been threatening to make a review of it, and every time I put it on my Patreon up for a vote, it never gets a single vote. Nobody wants to talk about this movie, and that is Howard the Duck.
But I actually like that movie.
I love Howard the Duck. It's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It's terrible, but I love it.
It's great.
I love everything about it. I
Well,
love it, but it's
Thompson,
terrible.
hello. It's worth
Yeah.
it for Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson is so
Effable.
she's really something in that movie.
Well,
Right.
There you go. What Chance said, everybody. Family show.
Oh, the little guy who played Howard the Duck, he passed away this week.
We just lost him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Yeah. I put a post to that in my community post too.
The problem I have with Howard the Duck, and I read the comic book too, So people said, "Oh, I get you read the comic books, you don't like the movie." No, that's not it. The thing that bothered me most about that movie is it didn't even stay within its own universe.
Oh no,
Like-
it disobeys its own rules. Yeah.
Like this the scene with Jeffrey who's been possessed by the Dark Overlords.
Jeffrey Jones. Yeah.
Jeffrey Jones, thank
yeah.
you. And he's telling Howard that's like, we are the Dark Overlords. We're from another universe. And Howard goes, yeah. Creature from another universe. Okay, yeah, whatever. He doesn't believe him. Howard, you are from another universe. Why
Right.
is it so hard for you to accept the fact that there are creatures coming from another universe? It's like, and I'm like, dude, and
Look, if you don't see yourself as a creature, then I can see that you'd be confused by how would you be creatures. Dude, you are a creature. Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Thrash, what that movie needed was the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh no.
I'm joking.
I was going to
He
say,
so hot at
same
that
guy.
time. He was in everything.
What that movie needed was
He's
a real
also
good
a
recipe
creep.
for duck soup.
I know. We know in retrospect he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an ill.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is the show we brought up everybody like that now. Could we stop?
Well, I'm glad Howard the Duck is getting a little bit of love because I do love it. I don't deny that it's a terrible movie, but I love it anyway.
What are you talking
How do you
about?
like
It's
the
so
look
good.
of Howard the Duck?
Amazing.
Thrash, how do you like the look of the character?
I
But they
thought the
did
look was great.
pre-CGI.
I thought the real effects were outstanding. And to be honest, I wanted to love it. It's like the concept was great. And again, like I say, I'm a fan of the comic. It's almost like they couldn't make up their mind where they wanted to go in the movie. Do they want this to be a spoof, or do they want it to actually be an immersive science fiction film? The Teenage Mutant Ninja coming again. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Turtles.
did the same thing. If you read the comics, those comics are. I'm sorry, there, Godzilla. That's the second time I've knocked you over. The
Bad
Mutant
bombs.
Turtles. If you read the comics were dark. The
Yeah.
comics were these.
Oh yeah,
intense,
they were great.
violent.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, but they were also a big satire of Daredevil. That was the whole point.
Well, yeah, but it was intense. And then the movies come out and they're like wacky and like they were spoofing themselves. So it's like I think. But Howard the Duck really shot itself in the foot. You
Oh,
you
come
realize
on, man. Howard the Duck was just plain lame.
Well, at one point, it was the biggest commercial disaster in
Yeah.
cinema history. It lost like
Lucasfilm.
$50 million.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
What?
Are you saying that maybe what was that stupid movie that I don't like? It's a
Any more
holiday
to go on?
special. Yeah, did the holiday special, Star Wars holiday special, do better than Howard the Duck or
Apple Ford
something?
is at television. He's talking cinema.
Cinema.
Well, anyway,
Big
they're both
screen.
pretty
Yeah.
much on par with the same time.
I can
period.
answer your question, Thrash, if I can get
Okay,
away.
Oh yeah, let Tug talk. Let Tug talk.
Okay. What happened with Howard the Duck is George Lucas wanted to make a serious, immersive movie, and Universal said, "No, you can't do that about a talking duck. So you have to make it a comedy." And they were constantly at odds with each other, and that's how the movie became what it is.
Thrash, I liked it when Kiss was in the comic book, Howard the Duck.
That's
The rock
right.
band Kiss. Gene
I don't
Simmons.
remember that episode.
It's an issue. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
it.
I believe you.
Listen.
The comic ran for years. I have a few issues, but
It was
I
still
will-
running when I worked in the comic book shop in the late '90s. So yeah.
Yep. He was the thing with Man Thing. He was introduced in Adventure into Fear issue 19 in comic book form. He was in the magazine Howard the Duck before
Yeah.
he was in comic books.
But the makeup effects were outstanding. I mean, it was the Howard
Costume or whatever you want to
kit,
call it.
yeah, whatever you want to call it. The kit was like some of the most expressive characterizations I've ever seen in like a practical effect. So yeah,
Mhm.
Well, it was
I mean-
definitely less scary than like say Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, that stuff is just nightmare fuel. So Howard the Duck
Yeah, they
did
made a
not.
whole horror video game franchise based. on it.
Yeah, right. So Howard the Duck did really good on making you not hate things. So good job.
Classic video games. He mentioned he's quoting a Weird Al Yankovic. I want a new duck. Want a new one that won't try to bite.
That's cute. I like that.
and show me how to get down.
Yeah.
Y'all were talking about Steve Martin, how his career might have been curtailed because the dead men don't wear plaid. Well, how about the Three Amigos? That kind of reinvigorated, and Little Shop of Horrors. I like Little Shop of Horrors.
But not where his teeth get like pulled out, or did he pull out somebody else's teeth? I don't know. Somebody's teeth get pulled out. I forget.
The Lonely Guys. Parenthood. Parenthood was a huge hit. I think it was Parenthood, and they made a sequel. Anyway, enough said.
Well, Parenthood. He has desperately over the years tried to make straight drama.
Yes,
and it's very hard for him because everyone expects him to be the guy from The Jerk
with the arrow through the head.
Right.
But Parenthood was an excellent film.
It's a great movie. I love it.
Wasn't that the one where they're driving and someone's head gets stuck? I won't go into details. Yeah, you're right.
I like trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, "How did the accident happen, sir? Hon, you want to show him?"
Hey guys, I like Inner Space with Quaid and Meg Ryan. That's how they met. I thought that was an underrated movie. Martin Short's in it. That was
the Joe Dante movie. Yeah,
correct.
Oh, that movie. Okay, yeah.
They kind of wanted it to be like a Martin and Lewis comedy mixed with Fantastic Voyage, which
and
I mean that's basically
exactly what it was.
Fantastic Voyage led to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Rick Moranis.
Probably my favorite shrinking movie because I grew up watching that.
Yeah,
I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. I went to the Disneyland live action ride thing that they had with that, right? Where the there came and you feel like something was running by you. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was.
I still dream of that giant oatmeal cream pie. That looks so good.
I know, man. I eat one of those now, and I'm just like, it has to go above me, and I have to. Yeah, so the Ghostbusters face, and I pretend I can't get up. It's great.
The Ghostbusters movies are nothing to me without Rick Moranis. It's too bad he's retired from acting. Bill Murray had like one good line in the last one. I mean, I laughed only one time. Anyway,
I didn't even.
Wow, that's more than I did. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it was so not funny. It was a
going back
terrible
to
movie.
SCTV. Anybody heard of SCTV? I'm sure Bob has.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I loved SCTV. And Rick Moranis was one of the funniest guys on there.
Yeah, we were talking about, what was it, Strange Brew last week? Yeah.
Yes, we were.
But I like the one that they did a parody of Jeopardy way better in Saturday Night Live. And you had you had Martin Short playing a character, Lawrence, who's like half slow, and he's like he's bald. He's like a teenager who's bald. And it's just out there, man. Really fun. and Eugene Levy plays the Alex Trebek type, and his patience is wearing thin. Anyway, John Candy, you gotta love John Candy. God rest his soul. He's like,
dude, that guy's
do you have a family?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Rick Moranis.
Do you have a family? He's like, tell me about your family. And John Candy's go, well, I have a mother, I have a father. And he goes, no, a family of your own. Do you have kids? Do you have children? And anyway, you have to see it. Tell us about your family.
No.
Right.
I have. It's funny. Eugene Levy plays exasperated very, very well.
Yeah,
that's like one of his best sticks.
Yes. I loved him in dang American Pie movies too.
He's probably the best thing about those movies. Yeah.
Hear me clearly, bots. I'm not cussing. There's a show called Schitt's Creek. I'm not cussing.
SCH.
Right. Like the dog, a Shih Tzu. Right.
Yes.
All right.
So I believe Sarah, I believe you're up now.
Me, I have no idea anymore.
Oh, okay.
Look, dude, I said the funny things, and then I just been trying to hit buttons. So let me just go real quick here and say, look, one of the movies that I like that all the people seem to like is, it's not even that like obscure, but I didn't hear about it till I was like much older, was The Burbs. I freaking love The Burbs.
Another Joe Dante movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I freaking love that. So freaking funny. Oh my gosh.
Fisher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks and like his neighbors are into satanic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Great
in front of all that like panic stuff, except for the cool picks were bad people. Crazy, Don't be a cool pick.
What was the one, Sarah and everybody, with Michael Keaton, Resident Evil, where he won't leave and the tenants are trying to evict him, and he's a disturbed MRF living in this house? Am I thinking the right title? Probably the wrong title.
No, Resident Evil is something else entirely, but
that's like a video game.
It's like called The Resident or something. Like he will not leave.
I'll look it up for you.
Oh man,
dude! Another one of my favorite ones was Joe's Apartment. I don't know if it is.
Joe's Apartment with the roaches.
I remember the shorts from MTV Liquid Television.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the movie. I never saw the movie.
Well, anyways, if you've ever lived with cockroaches, you just really identify with Joe's Apartment. Don't go to Hemet, everybody. There you go.
Oh, Pacific Heights is the movie you're thinking of, Chance.
Pacific
and I have
Heights.
seen it. Yeah,
That's it. Sinister. He's
he
very
is very
sinister.
evil in that. Yeah.
Melanie Griffith. Yeah. Matthew Modine. Yep. Yes, sir.
I saw that movie. It's pretty weird.
Very disturbing. Most definitely.
Well, anyway, so there's some picks. Moving forward, it's somebody else now.
Those count. So, Chance, what do you got for us?
I've already said my piece. I mean, I've been interrupting and throwing things out there. You can skip me this round. Somebody else.
Oh, so am I up again?
Sure, go for it.
Gary Bonds.
Let's see. I'll pull out my cursory info here. I've actually talked about a few of these already, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about not that at all. Go on.
The Matt and Trey live action film.
Okay. Sorry, I'm with you.
Yeah, I saw it. I was working at the video store, and this is when South Park was probably at its peak. And I was like, "Oh yeah, there's this new Matt and Trey film, and it's going to be a musical." And I believe Matt was actually a music major when he was in college.
Yeah.
So they actually, I knew that they would actually do a musical well, although tongue in cheek. And I saw it, and the amazing, as it turned out, I actually worked with a guy at the time who was familiar with the actual Alfred Packer story, and he goes, "It's actually astonishing." The story is comedic, but the actual facts in place are actually remarkably accurate, right down to the fact when Packard was in jail waiting a retrial, to keep busy, he built dollhouses. And they actually have Trey building dollhouses in his prison cell and stuff like that. And it's of course, it's Matt and Trey. It's very gross, but it's very funny. It's high school bathroom humor. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I got to tell you, I think it's very funny, very entertaining, and just some of the shtick is just when they do the indigenous, but they're Japanese, and like no one speaks about it. That just destroyed me. You assholes can stay with us. You know, it's just such a great movie, and the music is actually really good.
That's
Surprisingly good.
You made me think of 1941 for a second there. John Belushi.
Great movie too.
Yeah. As a spoof period piece, yeah, I can see that.
That was one of our favorite movies to watch at ROTC. Yeah, we learned so much those days. It was awesome.
And that too was actually based on an actual event, the bombing of LA. It actually was an occurrence.
Yeah.
And what about the original Neighbors? The John Belushi's last film. That was a weird movie.
Yes, it was.
Enough said.
Yeah.
What was that other movie he did right at the end? Canadian Bacon, where like we tried to invade
Canada.
Yeah.
I know he did that with Blair Brown.
Yeah.
The Canadians are invading.
Which we don't kid about anymore. In the 80s, war with Canada was considered funny and implausible. Now it's like,
Yeah, well, according to Damien, all the Canadian army is made up entirely of Canadian geese, so we should be afraid.
Well, as a bird, I'll be okay. So
I thought the Canadian army had a funny-looking guy, a moose, and a squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
That's the case. They're stocked up on poop.
oh, and while we're on the subject,
Okay,
War with Canada is actually also a subplot of the South Park movie.
That's true.
yeah, so blame
comes full
Canada.
circle.
So is it my turn? I got one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hopefully
Hey,
something
Wag
about
the dog
Canada.
just got mentioned again.
Okay. Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I love
hardly
that.
Not
Obscure.
underrated, but great movie for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we
It's
paired
the
it
least
with-
obscure movie we've talked about.
It's downright
What now?
obscure.
Continue.
Oh, you done talked about it?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I haven't talked about it.
They were just saying it's not that obscure. That's all.
Continue
we
to
talked
talk about it. Talk about Blazing Saddles.
Go
It's
ahead.
great.
I like Blazing Saddles a lot. When we talked about the musicals earlier, I was thinking about bringing it up because it's one of the few movies that has music that don't totally irritate me and make me want to scream in it. It's actually
you
kind of
haven't
humorous.
lived
They
till
do
you've heard
sing.
Clint Eastwood singing. Make sure you guys will check that out. Very
I'll have to look
important.
it up. Yes.
Hey, Dan, do you ever see Mosquito Coast? You guys got me stuck in the 80s with Harrison Ford.
Coast. Yeah.
Well, the best movies come from the 80s.
40 years.
I agree, Dan.
Yeah. To me, all my favorite movies mostly come from the 80s. But I do have a really deep love for the old black and white horror movies of the late 40s and 50s.
I used to until Universal decided to nuke my channel.
Oh.
Dear Universal, come on, stop.
Stop it, Universal. I'm a nice guy.
Come on. We just want to talk about the thing you made. Come on.
See, it was fine. It was fine to do all that stuff on your channels up until like 9 or 10 months ago when Universal started their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, they got real bad then.
Now they want to
really
murder everybody.
Luckily, I still have yet to get an actual strike, but they do keep.
Look, as somebody who's gotten like, they're not fun.
No,
I hate when months after the
so they get the little 8 cents or whatever. I don't care. I'll take them down.
Tug, I hate that months after the fact you'll get hit.
Yeah,
you know,
they'll hit me on videos that I made like years ago.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Right.
So that's the thing. You fold TOS today, and then tomorrow they changed it, and now you're not complying, even though in the past you were, but you get dinged for it. So you can't win.
Right. That's right.
Good luck.
That's right.
Look,
I did recently win a copyright dispute for the first time in my channel's history. I did finally beat a copyright dispute.
Really?
And it was against the movie Metropolis because it's in the public domain.
There you go.
Yeah, that movie.
Metropolis.
You'll have I tried to get dinged by some South Korean company about Metropolis.
It's 3 years old. I mean, I forgot.
There's claims from French companies that are not legit. You know, I guess people pay them a royalty. I think it's a scam.
I think that's what it is. It's probably a scam. There's got to be a lot of scams. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's scams all over the place.
Well, why did you give them credence? Is my question. Why would YouTube say, "Oh, you're legit"? Let's monkey with this channel. Oh, well.
I don't know, man.
Unrelated matter. Who was the guy, the original guy who wrote Solaris? Not the American, the original Eastern European.
Like the book? Like who wrote the book? Lev something.
Lev something was driving me crazy.
Stanislav Lev. It's the Lev is his last name.
Stanislav Lev. Okay.
Stanislav.
I was doing the same thing. I thought Lev was the first name.
In my brain, I kind of wait. You're getting it backwards, and that's how I remembered. Yeah. Interesting book. I love the movie. Interesting book. I hate the American remake. It's terrible. It's one of the worst movies ever.
Tell me how you really feel.
Usually I like Soderbergh, but that one was...
I know. Usually I like Soderbergh. I like all the actors involved, but that movie's so bad.
It shows George Clooney's backside twice, though, so my wife loves it.
Yeah, there's that.
Probably hairy.
Well, anyways, George Clooney, everyone.
He looks like he'd be a hairy guy.
I don't know, dude. I've never been a fan of his. I just can't with that guy. I don't know. Every now and time I see him, I just bat nipples. Some things are just ruined, right?
He was in the Facts of Life, the old 80s sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched that.
He was in the sequel to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I never saw that either. It's amazing. Life's been so much better.
I just remember him from ER.
Yeah, that was awful too. Don't bring that up again. Why would you do that?
I like that.
Launch all those ripoffs.
Hey, George Clooney was really good in that movie where they was killing some vampires in the desert.
Dark Till Dawn, From Dusk Till Dawn.
With Cheech and stuff,
Yeah.
Speaking of Juliette Lewis, who still looks 15,
all I can think of is Selma Hayek, actually. So.
Juliette Lewis?
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I actually touched her rear end once by accident.
By accident.
With that mirror of yours?
It's true story. She was playing at Smith's Old Bar in her punk rock band, front row, and I was taking a picture, and honest to God, and whatever.
That story.
It was an accident. She whipped around pretty fast. Yeah. Anyway.
She's like, it's just me.
She can rock the house, so my ears were shot for 3 days. I mean, the octaves, she can sing. She has an awesome voice. This is back in 2010.
Go right on.
No, but I shouldn't have brought it up. But it was totally an accident. I wasn't like that guy. Who was that scumbag that goosed Taylor Swift, that like DJ on some radio station, and he
I
got
have
sued?
no idea.
Oh, it was
Look,
all over
I
the
don't
news.
Taylor Swift.
I don't
so
keep
would
up
know.
with modern things.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Why would I? Yeah.
Who is this
Ooh.
Taylor Swift you speak
Taylor.
of?
Right? Although there's an AI video on my channel talking about how all she talks about is bad breakups and I have better songs. So check that out.
The
tell you
only
what,
Taylor I know is
I-
from Planet of the Apes.
I guess it's because I'm from South Carolina, but if I was going to grab some girl on the ass, it wouldn't be one of them skinny little toothpick girls, you know.
You know who her dad
Juliette
was?
Lewis. It's so bony, you know.
Juliette Lewis's
Well,
dad
I'm
was
afraid I'd
Jeffrey
break if I
Lewis.
grabbed her on
Jeffrey
my ass.
Lewis from
Jeffrey Lewis.
Any
From,
Which Way
um,
You Can. He was Clint Eastwood's buddy in a lot of movies in the late
they were
80s.
friends in real life, and they did a lot of
Oh,
movies together. But
Somebody mentioned that in the chat a long time ago. Yeah.
he was
Taylor
also in
Bronco
Night of the
Billy?
Comet.
Yo, Night of the Comet, yes.
Night of the Comet.
You know,
What?
Taylor Swift. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift looked like a big old walking Q-tip.
They were in a couple movies together. I can't think of which ones off the top of my head, but they actually they didn't. I'm trying to remember. They did at least two movies.
Natural Born Killers is tough. I can't watch that.
Yeah.
That's a brutal
I like that movie. I mean, yeah, it's a hard
I
watch.
like it. Oliver
And Juliette Lewis is actually really good in it. Like her acting is actually, I
Rodney
think that's some of the best
Dangerfield.
acting she's done.
Rodney Dangerfield freaked me out of 10 Years Growth in that movie.
He's creepy in that movie.
Dude.
Another Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the moral of the story is don't be Taylor Swift and everything's fine. Okay, cool. Moving forward now. Next, whatever the heck we were talking about. Whose turn is
You're
it?
next. Sarah's next.
No,
Sarah,
it's
you're
not
next.
me. I already just didn't I just go?
Yes, all discipline has broken down here at Schlockenau Theater.
Yeah. Well, look, I would normally corral everybody in more, but I don't feel like it. Ugh. Anyways,
Yeah.
hype music is fun. Good to see you.
And music.
Well, then I'll just interject and say Ice Pirates because somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier. And
I don't know that one.
Robert Urich, great
Yeah.
movie.
And
It's so
the girl who
silly.
shot JR, isn't she in that?
Who?
Crosby.
Yeah, Mary
Denise
Crosby,
Crosby.
Denise's
Mary
dad,
Crosby.
Denise's mom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get confused with that and the girl Christy McNichol. The Pirates.
They do
of
look
the
similar.
Penzance,
Yeah, the pirate
Ice
movie.
Pirates.
Yeah.
I that Mary Crosby. It was on Turner Classic Movies not too long ago.
I love both of those movies, Ice Pirates and the pirate movie. They're great.
Oh,
I agree.
Oh my
Hey, I
God.
got a weird fact for y'all. The director of The Blue Lagoon also directed Grease. Randall Kleisner, or whatever his last name is. Can you
Grease
believe
is
that?
horrible.
The guy who
I'm
directed
not-
a movie I don't like directed another movie I don't like.
Two
Amazing.
polar
That's
op-
crazy. Who knew?
Two polar opposite movies, though. I mean, in style and substance.
and it's so crazy how they managed to suck in different ways.
Hey, I
I'm
like
totally with you this time, Dan.
Sarah. I know you hate Grease. I apologize, but sorry, not
No, you
sorry.
don't.
I love Grease.
You don't apologize one bit. I know you, Chaz. You're like, and how can I get her Sarah's kid today? Let me mention Grease 80 times. Yeah. Keep it up.
Blue Lagoon is such a raunchy movie. It really
It is.
Hey, I thought,
It's very-
Sarah, don't you like Grease a lot?
No, that would be a untrue statement.
I like it on my
Okay.
cheeseburger, so that's about it.
Yeah, my
Burger
Grease
for lunch.
cheeseburger is great.
I had
What?
a steak burger for lunch, Steak and Shake.
Yeah,
the,
there you go.
The beef tallow
stuff.
fries, so good.
I love.
I
those
haven't
things.
had lunch.
Oh, sorry, you're on the West Coast. Yeah, you're Southern Cal.
I know, but it's just
What
one
is
of
it
those
like
days
2 in the
where
morning
nobody's
there?
I'm that far in the past, geek. No, it was 10 a.m. at your channel this morning. Okay, I got up.
I'm so sorry to wake you up at the crack of dawn at 10 a.m.
Actually, I got
I
up
had a
at
big old
7.
plate of pepper steak and onions.
Yeah,
I had Kraft mac and cheese for dinner.
Yeah,
I brought my
that's
mom.
not real good for you there with your blood sugar, man.
No, not at all. But I had it anyway.
I'm very disappointed in you not taking care of your stuff.
I'm sorry. I'll
We
do
wouldn't
better.
have to eat craft dinners, but we would eat craft dinners. We would just eat more.
Anybody on the panel like board
designer
games?
ketchups.
War
Anybody like
games?
board? I played Scrabble today with Mom. 6 games. She won 3. I won 3. I brought her a steak burger.
Nice.
Aw,
That's
he's a
nice.
good boy, Chance.
Like
It's,
5
it's
miles
Mama
away.
Thrash's birthday tomorrow.
well,
Happy birthday, Mama
Thrash.
Thrash.
Well, we all
Mom.
said happy birthday.
Happy birthday to your mom.
Thank you. I'm
Aw,
taking her to lunch.
That's nice.
that's awesome.
Don't you run a restaurant or something, or do you not like to talk about that?
Oh no, the restaurant closed for the season,
Okay.
and then I've opted to find career opportunities elsewhere.
Is it seafood? Is that why? It's
No,
seasonal?
Italian. But here at Cape Cod, even the Italian restaurants have seafood dishes. We have some of the best seafood dishes on the Cape. It's the restaurant was called the Parma Italian Table, and they're still open and doing very well. I've just opted to not go back this season. I'm going to do something else.
That's
for a
cool.
change.
Good for you.
Yeah,
man.
having seafood dishes in the restaurant is kind of required when you live on a freaking island.
It is, and there's some excellent Italian seafood dishes. So for the whole Cape Cod thing, we do they did Italian seafood.
I'm sorry, I've been very distracted because you mentioned career opportunities, and now I'm thinking of Jennifer Connelly. So that's all I got. Sitting on that horse.
I've got kin in Maine, and I love the shrimp. I mean, the lobster up there in Maine, the state of Maine. Anyway,
I like Cabot
I
Cove.
love Maine. Maine is the most beautiful has the most beautiful country in the country. Really, Maine is just an absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I know they have
gorgeous
Cabot
state.
Cove. It's my favorite murder capital of TV shows. Maine, everybody, Cabot Cove.
but the mosquitoes suck in the summer in Maine. I'll say that they're brutal. They have the worst mosquitoes up there.
One of these little grocery stores around here has lobsters from Maine you can buy.
Cool.
The best lobsters in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because Maine has really, really cold water. They get that Labrador current from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The water is like ice, and it's deep and rocky. So the lobsters like nest in there. You get the best lobsters in the country there.
You go,
Crawdads, too. I don't like crawdads anymore. I used to love them when I was a kid, and they have good crawdads in Maine as well.
no,
Really?
I don't like crawdads. I don't like crawdads at all. It's
Well,
just
that's
a lot of
bug.
work for what you get. No thanks.
The bug.
They're all
Like a
bugs,
bug.
Dan.
Yeah.
But if you
Lobsters
want
are
really
bugs
good,
too.
really good fresh lobster up here,
Arachnids.
you go to the Outback Steakhouse, and they've got a big tank with fresh lobsters from Maine where they're alive and you can pick your lobster out and they cook it for you.
It's like Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Freshest lobster I've ever had, I caught myself.
There you go. Do it
Really?
yourself.
Yes.
Oh, fancy.
I
man.
actually caught him with my hands because I was scuba diving. I was in scuba gear and I grabbed.
Oh,
lobster,
you're a
put it in-
fancy man.
Yeah.
You're looking at it with a finger, dude.
Yeah,
What?
I'm not doing that.
That's why you have really good dive gloves, man.
I suppose.
Hey, guys, you just made me think of another good underrated movie, The Deep.
The deep.
Nick
Another
Nolte, Jacqueline
intervention.
Bisset,
Yeah.
and Dearly Departed. I love this guy, Lou Gossett Jr. playing the heavy.
Oh,
The
it's one of my
villain?
favorites.
Remind me what part of that movie is actually good.
Jacqueline
When it
Bisset. Or
ended.
you already said it.
Jacqueline Bisset. Eli Roth has a great scene where
Taking off that
he does the
wetsuit.
exposition.
Mm.
I love Eli Roth. Eli Wallach. I keep saying Eli Roth. I'm sorry.
He was
Eli
the
Roth is
Penguins
somebody else
in
entirely.
Batman, Adam West Batman, Eli. Hey, but another bad one around that time, around the Jaws ripoff time, Orca. Richard
Orca.
Harris. I didn't care
That's a
for that.
notoriously terrible movie. Yes.
Yes.
It was better than The Deep.
Oh, I like the Deep. You didn't like it, Dan? Did you see the
I
3-hour
didn't like
cut?
The Deep. I didn't like The Deep too much. I didn't like Orca neither, but I didn't like it. I liked it. I liked The Deep less.
The good thing about being old is I remember, and I'm sure Thrash does too, watching the ABC movie of the week where they had an extended cut of like Superman the movie, The Deep,
Oh.
Rambo, First Blood. First Blood. They had an
Yes.
extended cut of that, and it was great seeing the outtakes. Enough said. Now they're on Blu-ray.
Right,
as
Zop?
extended supplemental director's cuts and supplemental sections.
Speaking of Jaws ripoffs that have
Terrible.
Louis Gossett Jr. in them, I really like Jaws 3.
I did
even though-
too. He just
Really?
won the Oscar for Officer
I
in General.
do.
He did
I
Jaws
do
3.
like Jaws
I
3.
do.
Really.
Nothing like the original, not as good, but it's not bad
Mm.
entertainment, especially in 3D.
In 3D, it
Just
works.
get in the theater in 3D like I did.
Well,
Also, I grew up right next to SeaWorld, so like I had that and it was filmed like right there, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
SeaWorld, everyone.
in Jaws 3, the acting wasn't that bad. It was the special
Right, Gary?
effects that were
Oh, the
crazy.
special effects are terrible, especially when you see the shark like come towards the glass and break the glass. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
so
that
bad.
was awful.
Another good movie about that time, War Games. I love War Games.
War
Matthew
Games,
Broderick.
good movie.
Oh, yeah, no, I saw War Games recently a couple times. It was awesome.
Did?
War Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I love Staying Alive, the sequel to Saturday Night Fever. Great
Oh.
cameo by Sly Stallone. He directed it. No, he has an awesome cameo. I remember my cousin Sabrina. She was so turned on by Sylvester Stallone in that cameo. She's like, "Oh my God, there's Sly Stallone. Look at him. He had the beard and everything." Anyway,
The
sorry.
Italian stallion.
Yeah.
Ironically, as much as I hate it, I had to stay in the live soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, it's like 2010, the sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey. That was a weird one. Roy Scheider, 2010.
Clue. I love
Yeah.
Clue. What a great movie
Clue.
that is. I
Clue
love
is
Clue.
the best movie based on a board game, hands down.
Yes, I love that game as a kid. I also was really good at cheating on that game.
I
What'd you say?
hated her
Would
so
you
much.
be close to-
Flames.
That's not a real board
The
game.
son of my head. Breaths of. Moving on.
Got another one for you. Remake of Thunderball when they brought back Sean Connery.
Diamonds Are Forever.
No.
Or no, not Diamonds Are Forever. What is it called? Never Say Never Again. Sorry.
Correct.
Brain.
Correct. Barbara Carrera. Yeah. And Kim Basinger. It was like Kim
Right.
Basinger's breakout role. Anyway.
I like her in 9.5 Weeks.
They couldn't use the James Bond theme because MGM had the rights to the music,
Yep.
and that was a Warner Brothers picture. Anyway.
It's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the James Bond movies, but
Yes.
I like it.
It had a cool motorcycle chase scene.
It's better regarded than the first Casino Royale, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
With Woody Allen.
Yes.
Well,
Woody Allen.
listen, I enjoyed it though. Eventually, it grew on me. It was fun.
And Niven. And y'all know the first James Bond, don't you, on TV? He was terrible.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the American.
Climax
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Harry Nelson.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I thought he was talking
Peter
about
Lorre was a great Lashif, though. He was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good actor. Yeah.
Didn't David Niven play James Bond?
Yes,
You know,
David Niven was James Bond. That is
in
correct.
the spoof, the Woody Allen spoof.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about the Climax BBC thing. That was different. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Ursula Andress came back for that.
Right.
Forgive me
That's
for bringing up
Conroe
something you were
all-time.
actually talking about. That's
It's
not-
fine. It happens a lot.
I was thinking of something else apparently, and I apologize, but yes.
I think I'm always thinking something else.
I just wasn't thinking.
I
There's
try not
that.
to. It slows me down.
It'll kill you eventually.
Got another one for you. Runaway. Gene Simmons, Kirstie Alley, about those little robot spider creatures.
Yes, yes.
It's a Michael Crichton movie. He directed it.
I actually like that movie a lot.
Me too. It freaked me out.
It
Even though
freaked me
Tom
out as a
Selleck
kid.
said-
Those little robots are
Yeah.
scary, man.
In a movie called Looker with Susan Day, naked.
Not familiar
Oh
with it.
my! Sorry, what was that
Well,
word
I
again?
think I part of that movie.
You ever
This has
seen
been
Looker?
an exceptionally
That one,
horny
Bob?
episode.
Looker?
It's not my fault. I didn't do it, guys.
Do what? Oh, she's sorry. I know you're sorry you invited me.
If
What?
the only
I never.
thing good, if the only thing good you can say about a movie is somebody's naked scene, it's probably not a good movie.
Looker is not a bad movie about plastic surgery. It was a thriller. It was a good movie. All right, I'll shut up. I'll step on.
You know,
He
it's
says
like,
that as though, like, if it's about
me,
plastic
that's like-
surgery, it makes
to me, that's like bringing up The Highland 2. The Highland 2 is a horrible movie, but there are a couple of things in it I really like. Over
A couple
and
of
over.
things. I see what you did there. But I love Susan Day. I loved her in LA Law, not just Partridge Family. Susan Day was a great actress, and she's aging naturally. She's not ruined her face with plastic surgery. You can still tell it's her, and she looks amazing. I love her. Her acting.
I like the fact that I'm getting old and I have all these like wrinkles from laughing so much is awesome. I go, look at, I'm happy. Ah, you jealous? Anyway,
says the child of the episode.
come on now.
She is, isn't she?
He's the youngest one here for sure.
Yes.
Speaking of Gene Simmons, though, he played a villain very well.
He did.
Yeah.
He
He
was
was in a
always
movie.
a villain.
He was in
I
a
don't know
movie.
if you guys remember the 80s cult anthology horror show, The Hitchhiker.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
HBO.
I think it's just called The Hitcher. I think.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker.
No,
Yeah,
it
but
was
Friday
the
the 13th.
Hitcher is a completely different movie. That's Red.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Hitchhiker. Yes.
To the person
Hitcher
who
is
just
Rutger
texted
Hauer.
me, I'm very much aware of that. Yes.
But there's an episode called OD Feeling, which is set in a dystopian city, and what a gangster loses a very large amount of drugs, and through many shenanigans, it passes from hand to hand to hand, and in the end, Gene Simmons plays the gangster who eventually gets his product back, and it's just It's a great episode. He's amazing in it. And it's
Yeah.
not a movie.
But
I just
yeah,
felt like
we talk about Gene Simmons. The best movie I saw Gene Simmons in was one called Wanted Dead or Alive,
Yeah.
where he plays this kind of Osama bin Laden terrorist guy, and
Oh,
it's like really a great movie. I recommend you check it out.
wasn't Rutger Hauer in that too?
Yeah, Rutger Hauer's the cop, and
Yes, I
Gene Simmons
have
is
seen
the
that.
bad
Yes.
guy. And it's really like he's trying to stop another 9/11 kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And what about Tales from the Dark Side, another anthology show? I like that one. It was like the Night Gallery of the 80s.
They're showing those again. I don't know if you guys have the Grimm channel, but I recently discovered it, and they're showing Tales from the Dark Side. And I've like rediscovered it.
Yes, and there was a show called Dark Room on ABC. Remember that one? Dark.
I was so heartbroken when they canceled Dark Room. I only left about 8 episodes, but
we're like brothers, man. I know.
James Colburn was outstanding as the impresario.
He was on Friday night. And I like that show Fridays around that time. The Saturday Night Live ripoff, the comedy show Fridays. And it had Larry David. Larry David was in it, and Michael Richards before Seinfeld, before he was Kramer.
That's the one.
I liked it. Was one called In Living Color. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I like In Living Color. I also watched this one called like The News. It was like on KCOP, very independent, Channel 13, and it was like a comedy sketch show, but like nobody else remembers it. I swear, I watched it. It was just called The News. It wasn't that great, but they played a lot of the Noxzema commercials around the same time, so I just them two are synonymous with not good.
Did you tape it? Did you record it?
No, look, see, back in the day, we had this thing called an antenna in the garage. And so when we recorded something, it was very snow, right? And very staticky. So all those tapes got because VCRs went the way of, the dust and things. Yeah. So,
That's the way I was with the Playboy channel. It was scrambled, you're like, oh, I think I lost something.
These are just
back to
puberty. Free stations that were.
Right. I think I saw a nipple.
Right? Yeah. Well, anyways.
Oh boy.
I watched Pretty Baby that way because
that movie's sick.
I was like 12 or 13 and I heard about it and I'm like when I heard about this movie I became obsessed with watching it. Again, we didn't have HBO but we could hear it. So I'm trying to watch it with all the squiggles going through and that's a very raunchy movie. Shame on you, David Carradine.
You see, that just goes to show.
Her mother should be ashamed of herself. Brooke Shields' mother should be ashamed of herself for letting her do that movie.
That just goes to show how messed up I am. We had the full cable package with all the cable channels. We had the Playboy channel at Skinamax. And I was in there watching Mystery Science Theater 2000.
Oh, and by the way, I feel compelled to correct myself. It was, of course, Keith Carradine. With apologies to David, although he was into some shenanigans himself. But we won't talk about that either now, will we?
Let's hold that topic for Thursday when we talk about those naughtier things.
Uncensored, yeah. my dad wouldn't allow a Playboy channel out of respect to my younger sister, and my mom. He's like, no Playboy channel. Anyway.
I don't even think my parents were aware we had it because they just went up there and got the gold package, ordered all the cable when it come through.
Right.
And we had like 300 channels we could go through, so they weren't really aware of everything that was on it.
Right. I love the hidden episodes of Honeymooners, man. When that hit Showtime in the 80s, I watched that more than anything. The Lost episodes.
Yeah, I seen that too.
That was on Showtime before it was in syndication or home video.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to cut out pretty soon. So
I think we all do. We're coming up to the hour and a half mark.
I need to find food. I have not eaten.
My family's.
I want to apologize to the audience of the cleaner audience out there. I kind of went off the rails. It's the candy. I'm not drunk. I'm not on anything.
Never apologize for what you love.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
As long as you're not hurting anyone.
Not hurting anybody, right?
Come on, Chance. We've all heard you say a lot worse than today.
Well, I'm trying to stay clean out of respect to the other channons here,
It's all good, Chance. It's all good, but thank you, man.
After I say it all, I'm really trying.
God,
we believe in redemption here.
We are having fun, and I'm going to have more fun because that's fun.
So what's
All right,
next week for
everybody.
Thrash? You doing trivia next week solo, Thrash? Around
Yeah,
the show?
I will do trivia. I have some content coming up this week, and maybe a couple of surprises. And anyone else want to plug anything while they're here? While we still have a minute?
So everybody, Thursday, family union, gonna be great. I'm picking Sunday off, I guess, because we did everything this Sunday. So unless Geek says, "Hey, yo, get over here," then I'll go play. But otherwise, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I'm having on next week.
What she said.
Right. Follow along, like, subscribe, and share out, and comment after every show. All right, I'm gonna end this now, guys. So say goodbye.
Wait, other people, Tug, plug something.
Go watch my Johnny Mnemonic video. Like I said, my 80s and 90s movies never do that well, but like I love doing them, so I want them to do well. And I had a lot to say about Johnny Mnemonic, so go check that out.
And my channel's the Nostalgic Podblast. I won't be live this Friday, and tomorrow I will be working, and I'm really excited about tomorrow. One day I can tell you about it, but I'm super stoked.
Oh, and my channel is The Unapologetic Geek. If you don't know that, I don't know why you're here.
And I'm going to bring up my channel. I'm going to bring up one of my channels called Shock Theater Official, which is a very few little handful away from 1,000 subscribers. Hit it.
Nice.
Awesome. Everybody, this is my main channel. Like, subscribe to it, as of course, and then love you guys.
We love you.
Happy trails.
Bye. Oh, I better hit the buttons. It's my turn, huh? Yeah.
Buttons.
Buttons.
But
to show with puns and tan in a TV flow. Geeks for sure with tales to tell. Every Sunday is pretty swell. Good times here, you'll want some more. Remember days you can't ignore. Kids and family, friends so dear. Join us now, the crew is here. On the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, so revere. Shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Lonely auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, so revere. Save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, let's all revere. These shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice.